All right, we're gonna rock and roll. We're gonna stay on the floor. Maybe a mat, because we'll be on our knee for quite a bit of it in the beginning, or just a pillow. I'm gonna back up, get myself situated. We're gonna start with some hip, a little bit of groin, a little bit of oblique stuff. Some stuff you've done, some stuff you haven't. So let's go half kneel position. We're gonna do a two-way hip stretch. So in this position, I'm gonna squeeze my left butt cheek, my left knee is down. Without using my spine, I'm gonna push through that glute, trying to extend my hip and my quad, right? Trying to feel that stretch on the front of my leg. We don't wanna be going like this, right? So that's why the glute squeeze is important. When I flex my glute, I get that good isolated stretch in the front of my leg, and it doesn't get up into my low back. Good? So that's phase one of it. Phase two, I'm gonna turn towards you so I can see. So you can see, excuse me. Phase two is right foot angled straight out, so not ahead of you, but literally directly out laterally. And then I'm gonna lean into this right hip. So now the stretch is transitioning from my left to my right hip, right? I'm obviously mobilizing that hip a little bit still, but I'm gonna get about 3 or 5 rocks on that way. And then I'm gonna go back, which you don't have to move like I'm moving, I'm just doing it so you can see. And I'm gonna squeeze that right glute, same idea. Now I'll mobilize that right. Let's go through that twice on one side, right? So left side getting the front, right side getting that good groin up into that hip as well, right? Also, you're really mobilizing your knee as well because of the what it's traveling over, right? My knee's traveling almost over my toe, which is awesome. Okay, let's switch sides. So I'm gonna show you opposite view. So now my left leg is up. Now I'm gonna squeeze that right glute, breathing. Oh, my spine just cracked. That was a unexpected crack. Squeezing that glute, I'm gonna get 4 to 5 pulses, and then I'll go lateral again, right? Make sure you can see. Leaning into that left hip now, stretching out my groin on the left. Just kind of warming up my hips, reminding them in all the positions that they should be traveling. All right, we're gonna transition to the hamstring. So I'm gonna go back this way. You can do leg of choice in front of you. I'm gonna go right leg straight out. I'm gonna squeeze my quad, right? When I squeeze my quad, it forces my knee to stay straight. I'm gonna rock back slowly onto my heel of my left foot. Everyone's mobility here is gonna be different, so that's why I say slow, go slow. You might be here and you might go, oh Lordy, I don't need any more stretch than that. That's fine, take some breaths, hang out. If you're able, go ahead, sit back on that heel, pull that toe up to that face, chest nice and high. You get a real good stretch all down the back of that right leg, including the calf with the ankle being pulled up like that, right? If I point my toe, stretch changes a little bit. Pull the ankle up, I get that real good back, whole back of my leg. Take a couple deep breaths. Let that baby respond, and then we're gonna switch it out. So I'm gonna go right leg straight, and then I'm gonna slowly rock back, slowly rock back. Good, until I feel like I've gotten that distance that I'm capable of. I'm gonna pull that toe up, squeeze my quad muscle, which in return stretches out the posterior side of my leg. Take some deep breaths. Reminding that hamstring and all the lengths it should be capable of. All right, we're gonna do a windmill. I really love this exercise, and you can actually load it. We're not gonna load it today, but it's a great shoulder stability exercise, but it also gets our obliques, hips, gets us a little warm, which is awesome. So I'm gonna do one knee up, one knee down. I'll show you a few different angles. If my right knee's up, my left hand is going to be traveling towards the ground. My right hand is really reaching towards that sky, imagining that you're holding something heavy. And that's essential that you imagine that, because you don't want to drag your arm laterally, right? If you're holding something heavy like this, it wouldn't feel great, right? So I'm gonna point to the sky. I'm gonna slowly drive my right hip out, reach to the floor with my left. See how that feels to begin. If you're capable, go ahead and go all the way to your elbow. Drop down, feel that stretch in the groin, the low back. Now I'm gonna squeeze my glutes. Try not to use my arm that much to bring me up, right? I'm not pushing off my left arm. I'm just guiding myself through it, but my torso is really doing all that work. So inhale down. Exhale. So you can see how this exercise could get harder if it was loaded, right? If I had a weight in my right hand, it would get a lot harder. So really good core stabilizing, some balance, because just being in this half kneel position, people don't realize that that's actually a balanced position, right? So we're gonna go like 5 to 10. You might have gotten more than me because I'm chattering. We're gonna switch legs, right? Left leg up, right leg down. Left hand reaching at that sky, really reaching hard so my elbow stays straight. Right hand is traveling down. If I'm comfy there, I'm gonna go all the way for that elbow. Squeezing my glutes, using my torso to come back up, right? Just kind of using the body in a different way than you're used to using it. And that always feels, I mean, I shouldn't say it always feels good, but a lot of times it feels good because you're like, oh, my body's discovering a new position that it's capable of. Because we do stay in the same position all day long, don't we? Okay, so let's go adductors. So I'm gonna face you. I'm gonna take my right foot out straight, right? That's essential that that leg stays straight. My foot is flat on the ground. It's not tilted up at the sky like that, right? My toes are pointed towards you. I'm gonna now drive my hips back, sitting onto my left heel like a child's pose, reaching at you. Right, so now I'm getting that real good stretch in my right groin, my hip, a little bit of lower back. I'm gonna take a couple deep breaths here. When you're ready, you're gonna transition up, right knee down, left knee out, foot is straight, right? Let me move over a little bit. Foot is straight at you. Now I'm gonna rock back, sit on that right heel. Might feel different, might feel the same, right? Take a couple deep breaths there. Sometimes I think people are too passive with the stretching, right? Remember, really feel the rib cage, fill it up, it feels great. All right, tactical frog, one of my faves. I'm going to go feet together, knees wide. Feet together, knees wide. That's that tactical frog position, wherever that name came from. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hands between my legs and I'm going to slowly rock forward all the way until I'm pushing my hips down between, right? By squeezing my glutes, supporting myself with my arms, letting my hips sink as deep as I comfortably can. If you can, go ahead and go to your forearms and get that real intense bottom stretch. Most people are fine right about here though. Go ahead and push back and enjoy that groin stretch on the back end of it. And then attempt that tactical frog again. That's external rotation of the hips, right? I'm forcing my hips out, away from me, which we don't do often, so they fight back, yeah? Inhale, go ahead, get one more, right? It's a good one to get a couple of. You get more comfortable with it as you go. We tend to hold ourselves back from stretches that are a little bit uncomfortable or you're weary of. Okay, awesome. I'm gonna get you a little warm. We're gonna go a plank reach around. This is a really awesome shoulder mobility drill. Try to keep your elbows straight. It will be harder than you think. So, high plank, hands are under my shoulders, toes are dug into my mat, squeezing my glutes. I'm gonna stabilize by flexing my quads and glutes. I'm gonna reach forward, elbows straight, reach all the way back around, come back to start. Right arm, all the way back around. So what I'm trying to avoid is this, right? Rocking away. What I'm trying to avoid is this, bending my elbow, walk the elbow out, reach. Walk the elbow out, reach. Big circles. Mobilize that shoulder joint, squeeze those glutes. Breathing. Aim for about 5 to 10 each side. Notice how much you're rocking, right? That's your sign. Hey, is my lumbar stable? Is my core stable? If you're able to really plant it, balance your favorite glass of wine on your back, then you're great. If that wine falls off, you need some stability work in the core. Awesome. Okay, so Hami pressure stretch. We're gonna lay on our back. This is a phenomenal stretch if done correctly. So we're laying down. I think I've done it a couple times with you. So I'm gonna tuck my pelvis. I'm going to elevate my right leg. I'm gonna cradle my right leg with both of my hands. Now I'm gonna flex my right quad, putting more pressure on my hamstring, right? I'm really feeling that stretch on the back of my leg. I'm gonna elevate the opposite leg, flex that baby out stiff so it's engaged and it's not loosey-goosey. And I'm gonna slowly drop the left leg, maintaining that strong tension on the right. You should feel the stretch change as you go through the movement. Let the heel tap the ground, drag it back towards you. Elevate again and repeat slowly, maintaining the pressure. Good. Drag it back. Relax the right. I hope you felt that. It felt good. We're going to switch sides. Left leg up, cradle, flex that baby out. Right leg up beside, slow and controlled drop. Slow and controlled drop. That's essential so you have time to feel the stretch changing in the left leg. Let the heel drop, drag it back. One more time through. Stiffness in both legs. Awesome. That should feel really good. Different type of hamstring stretch, right? We're gonna go into one of my favorites. We're gonna go into a pancake. So pancakes look simple, but there's some pointers that are really important. So I'm gonna put both my legs out straight, if you can see me. Now notice how my toes are pointed at the sky. It's really natural to wanna let your toes kind of drift away. Pull them up at the sky so you really get that intense stretch. Flexing my quads. I'm gonna inhale, and as I exhale, I'm gonna walk my hands as far away from me as I can. So letting the head hang when you're ready. When you've reached your max depth, you're gonna take your fingers and slowly walk across to the leg of your choice. I'm walking to my left leg. I'm gonna grab my left ankle. Feel that stretch down the right side of my body. I'm gonna inhale again, and as I exhale, I'm gonna grip the floor again and walk all the way back to my right side. Slow and controlled exhaling. When I get to my right, same idea, leaning away from that left hip, keeping the butt on the ground so you get that good pull through the QL in the back, the lower back muscle. When you're ready, inhale and exhale back to center. And then slowly come out of it. That should have felt really good. I love that one. Especially the breathing really helps mobility. All right, so we're going rocking ab twist. This is an awesome move. If you have kids, this is a fun one to do with them. So I'm going to lay on my back. I'm going to tuck my pelvis. It's going to give you a really great spinal massage, right? So I hope you're not on concrete. You're going to bring your feet up in the air. You're going to round your shoulders, right? So I'm picking my upper back off the ground, which in return is really forcing me to brace my abdominals. I'm going to create a little bit of momentum here and get myself rocking. Notice how I'm not rocking here though. I'm just staying in that rock position. Now I'm going to twist my hips left, twist my hips right. Back and forth, mobilizing my spine, working my abdominals, having a little bit of fun, getting that pressure on my back, right? There's something to be said about not putting pressure on parts of the body. We become very sensitive if we do not, right? People that don't ever take shoes off, they really struggle to take their shoes off and walk barefoot. If you do it for too many years, you've lost all that durability, right? If you did it as long as I did it, you should have felt some good ab burn. Let's go ahead into a trap stretch because I know that working at a computer really tightens those babies up. So I'm sitting high on my knees, on my heels, excuse me. Take my right hand, I'm gonna put it under my leg so it can't go anywhere. So I'm squishing it. Take my left hand up and over. I'm gonna inhale. As I exhale, I'm gonna pull my neck, my left ear towards my left shoulder. Breathing. It's your choice how hard you pull, right? Pulling the right shoulder towards the ground. Left ear to left shoulder, breathing. We're gonna relax, switch sides. Left hand under left foot or ankle, wherever is comfortable for you. Right hand, inhale. Side's definitely tighter for me. Oh, love that one. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for joining me.